As a new church start pastor, I believe that many of the churches that will thrive in the 21st century will evolve from church planting. Many of our church plants are seeking to reach the lost, the unchurched, and non-believers. The single most effective evangelistic methodology under heaven is planting new churches.
The message of Jesus Christ needs to be introduced to our communities, and what better way of doing that than through the United Methodist Church. They have beautiful heritage that through the ages, that's what they have done. Introduce Christ in a most loving and caring, non-judgmental way.
I think it's important to start new churches because it's selfish of us to know of a hope that we don't share with others. And we have to be in the community in order to do that.
As a new church start pastor, I have seen the community change when a United Methodist Church begins as we start connecting people together to serve the community. All of a sudden, walls start falling down and bridges start being crossed, and we start talking with each other instead of at or to each other.
Methodist churches are important in communities because they're in between the very evangelical churches and the very sacramental churches, that we can kind of reach out and bridge the gap between those two. And sometimes families that come from both of those backgrounds, United Methodism is a good choice for them.
God is calling you to give so that these experiences that New Church Starts bring about can happen here in our annual conference.
Please give generously.
Jesus also commanded us to make disciples. One of the best ways, the greatest tool to not only make disciples, but also young and diverse disciples is through planting new churches.
New church starts are important because they are the basic tool that we have readily available for us to be able to do the evangelistic work that we are called to do. In order for us to start the making disciples for Jesus Christ, this is the best tool that we can have.
As a new church pastor, I've seen people come to Christ who are unfamiliar with faith. Jesus teaches in all of the Gospels that you don't put new wine in old wineskins. New faith communities allow us to reach people unfamiliar with the Christian message in ways that are relevant to them and their lives.
Please give.
As a new church start pastor, I have seen the community changed when a United Methodist Church begins and people start recognizing that they have the gifts needed to effectively be in ministry with one another and with all the world. People are empowered to transform the world when they learn to utilize the gifts God has given them and use them for building the kingdom of God right here and right now.
I've seen the community change. When a United Methodist Church begins, my community was very, very angry with new churches because of disputes with a neighboring non-denominational church. Our new United Methodist Church was able to reach out to the community in positive and loving ways, which helped put new churches back into a more positive light.
Our conference contains two of the fastest growing counties in the entire United States, and it's so important for us to make sure that we are planting new churches and springing up new faith communities in these new areas, because people aren't willing to drive 50 miles to an existing church, so we need to go to these people where they are. The Methodist message is Jesus Christ for all of us, and we need to make sure that we are emphasizing that message and emphasizing the grace that God has for us all to these new faith communities. So I ask you to please give to this capital campaign.
Please support our endowment to create new church communities in the Desert Southwest Conference.
The single most effective way of evangelism under heaven is planting new churches.
So please give.
Please give.
Please give.
Please give to this capital campaign.